From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Monday, July 13th, 2015. Silver is trading at $15.52 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,156 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $290. AntiWarcom reports administration officials report they are determined to launch a full-scale drone attack against the Islamic State in Libya, including surveillance operations and potential strikes against the Islamic State forces on the ground in the North African country. All they need is a base. That's proving tougher than imagined, as officials concede that so far not a single nation has expressed any openness to hosting a U.S. drone base. Many are said to be afraid that they would be making themselves more of a target for the Islamic State and housing U.S. forces. The Obama administration's recent diplomatic moves in northern Africa, removing restrictions on military aid to the Egyptian junta and declaring Tunisia a major non-NATO ally, are both seen as attempts to butter the respective nations up as a potential host. How successful those efforts will be is unclear. Tunisia is eager to move against the Islamic State after recent strikes, but the obvious vulnerability of the tourism-dependent nation makes hosting a U.S. base too dangerous. Egypt, by contrast, could likely weather any fallout from the Islamic State retaliation, but may insist on the U.S. sharing more intelligence and operational control than the administration would be willing to give up.
FPP Radio News is brought to you by Bitcoin Not Bombs. Bitcoin Not Bombs is a launching pad for nonprofits and social entrepreneurs into the financial freedom of the Bitcoin economy. Bitcoin Not Bombs offers premium publicity campaigns designed to facilitate an organization's adoption of Bitcoin as a payment system and to fully capitalize on that decision in their fundraising efforts. To learn more, visit bitcoinnotbombs.com.
UPI reports 5 men were rescued on Saturday after drifting in the Pacific Ocean for days in a small vessel with limited supplies and no motor, according to the U.S. Coast Guard. The men were reported missing Wednesday after departing from a fishing trip on Monday from Tirena Island, Kiribati. During search operations on Friday, an HC-130 Hercules aircrew based out of Oahu, Hawaii, spotted the men drifting 184 miles east-northeast of Tirena, which lies about 1,000 miles south of Hawaii. The men reportedly had limited supplies and no life-saving equipment aboard the 14-foot skiff not equipped with a motor. The Shorong Harmony, a Chinese bulk carrier sailing under the flag of Panama, picked the men up on Saturday after the Coast Guard air crews dropped supplies including food, water, locator beacons, radios, signal mirrors, and flares. According to the Coast Guard, the men were in good condition when rescued.
For over 35 years, Roberts & Roberts has been a trusted source for buying and selling your investment-grade precious metals. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and permanently removed the minimum purchase order for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on investing and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 850-478-5270 or online at rrbi.co.
Reuters reports the National Board of Directors of prominent U.S. civil rights group, the NAACP, voted on Saturday to end a 15-year boycott of South Carolina, prompted by the display of the Confederate battle flag on state capitol grounds. The resolution was approved during the NAACP's annual convention in Philadelphia. The Confederate battle flag in South Carolina was removed from State House grounds on Friday to chants of USA, USA. After 3 weeks of emotional debate over the banner, the Confederate battle flag was raised atop the South Carolina State House dome in 1961 as part of a centennial commemoration of the American Civil War. Critics said its placement was a sign of opposition by politicians to the civil rights movement at the time. In a separate action earlier in the week, National Collegiate Athletic Association President Mark Emmert said his organization was removing all barriers to South Carolina hosting championship-level college sports events now that the Confederate battle flag had been removed from the state capitol grounds. The NCAA, the major organization of U.S. intercollegiate athletics, had prohibited predetermined postseason competition in South Carolina because of the flag. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.